中部长您好，我是中国经济周刊经济网记者。2018年中非合作论坛峰会即将举办，我们想请问钟部长，上一届约翰内斯堡峰会提出的各项经贸举措，包括投资便利化等，落实情况如何？在新一届的峰会中，我们将提出哪些新的倡议？谢谢您。
With China Economic Weekly, in 2018, China will host the summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. Minister Zhongshan, I'd like to check with you how's the progress of the execution of all the economic and trade measures proposed at the previous summit held in Johannesburg, including those measures related to investment facilitation. And what kind of new proposals or initiatives will we see at this time in this year's summit? Thank you.
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question.
这个中非呀，非洲啊是中国
Africa
的重要的
is an
伙伴。
important partner of China.
这个习近平主席在2015
And
年的时
at
候，
the Johannesburg FOCAC summit in
在中
2015,
非合作论坛
President
对话
Xi
峰会上
Jinping
提出了
put forward
10大
the 10 major cooperation plans with Africa.
这几年来啊，
These plans
推动落实
have been implemented over the years.
相关的工作。
And as for the
我们
specifics,
分管这项工作的
Vice Minister Qian Keming, who is responsible for this area,
他
is going to answer your question. Thank you, Minister Zhong. Thank you, our friends from the press.
这个10大合作计划
Speaking of the 10 major cooperation plans which were put forward over 2 years ago,
和非洲国家
the Ministry of Commerce of China has worked together with relevant departments in China and consulted and negotiated with various different African countries in implementing each and every of those major projects and plan. And so far, a majority of
绝
these
大部分项目已经体现了
responsibilities and plans have been implemented either on time or ahead of schedule. So these implementation have seen very good results. For example, in the area of people's livelihood,
10大合作计划
the 10 major cooperation plans
带来实实在在
have
的好处
brought real benefits to the peoples in African countries.
免除了这个
For example, we have cancelled
2015
the
年底
interest-free loans due to mature by the end of 2015 for more than 20 African countries.
此外呢，我们还向
In
18
addition,
个
we have also
非洲国
provided
家
emergency food aid to 18 countries in Africa,
紧急人道主义这个
providing emergency humanitarian assistance to them.
2016年
As we know that in
2016
2016,
现象这个导致
due to the El Nino
大国埃塞俄
effect,
比亚
a major country in East Africa, Ethiopia,
的这个
suffered
饥饿
badly
的威胁
from starvation.
中国第一时
And China was the first country to deliver our life-saving food to the disaster-hit areas in Ethiopia.
非常激动的我就
And Prime Minister of Ethiopia at the time
这是我们收到
very emotionally said to me,
中国
shaking my hand, that this was the first batch of life-saving food that they had received at the time, and it was from China.
还在很多民生领域
In addition, we have also carried out a large number of projects, including schools,
包括一些经济
hospitals,
共水项目等
as well as clean water supply projects in the area of people's livelihood in
又
Africa.
比如说在工业化和
In the area of industrial cooperation,
已经成功的
we have
增加了
successfully
中
increased
非洲中小企业专项贷款
the
当时我们的
capital
这个协
in
会
a
是对
special loan for medium and small-sized enterprises in Africa by
另外
$5
我
billion.
们还新设了一个100亿美元的
We have
中
also
非产业合作
established a
计划
new China-Africa Industrial
同时呢，
Capacity
我们还为
Cooperation
非
Fund
洲
with a
国家
value of, with a capitalization
提供
of
了
$10 billion.
15万
We
人
have
次
also
的
provided
专业技术
150,000 person times
除
of
此之外，我们
training
还和
for
和
skills
非洲的
for
很
people
多
in
国家
Africa. In
签
addition,
订的
we have signed
建设这个
a
经贸合作园区。
number of deals or
大家可能听
agreements
说过
with
这个
some
埃及
African
的
countries for the building of
苏伊士
economic
运
and
河
trade
经贸合
cooperation
作
zones,
这
including
个经贸
the
合作
Suez
建
Economic
设
and Trade Cooperation Zone in Egypt, which you might
产值
have
已经
heard
达到
of.
7亿美元。
By January this
为
year,
这个
the total output of
当地
this zone was already as high as $700 billion
交了 税
and
和
a
费
tax
大概
contribution to the local authorities
800万美元，
of
创造的就业是
$580
这个3000
million US
3300
dollars.
人。
That zone created 3,300 jobs for the local communities. 3,100 of those were local employees. In the area of infrastructure development, in particular, we have built a number of roads, railways, ports, airports, etc. You might have heard of the Mombasa-Nairobi Railway in Kenya, with a total length of 4,800 kilometers. It's known as being in the critical juncture in the railway network of East Africa. Another one is from Addis Ababa, capital of Ethiopia, to Djibouti. That railway was also completed, and our food aid at the time was also delivered via that line. That time, the railway actually was not officially operational, but we managed to deliver our food assistance through that line or through that route to Ethiopia at the time. So overall, the projects under the 10 major cooperation plans are very diversified and rich. And overall, the progress for the implementation of these projects have been smooth, and the effects of these projects are very good too. And our friends in Africa are all very pleased with the results. As we know that the new FOCAC summit is going to be held in September this year in Beijing. And going forward, we're going to do the following two things. First is to continue to do a good job in implementing the 10 major cooperation plans. Minister Zhong said that this is a political task, and we shall spare no effort in implementing and ensuring good results of the implementation of the 10 major cooperation plans. Secondly, we should do a good stock-taking in summarizing the experiences and lessons in implementing the 10 major cooperation plans, so as to provide a lesson or draw some lessons for the next FOCAC summit. As regards the new measures for the China-Africa Cooperation Forum, last year in the year-end, Minister Zhongshan already made a deployment for the preparation of these new initiatives, and so far we have consulted very extensively with relevant African countries, and going forward we're going to consult with the diplomatic officials from various African countries in China to see what the pursuits and requests and will of the African partners are. For this new batch of measures, the overall outline has been gradually coming into focus, and these new measures will have the following three features. First is to further enhance strategic synergies or alignment, meaning to provide synergies between our Belt and Road Initiative with the African strategy, especially at the level of the multilateral arena at the African Union Commission, along with relevant African countries. Second is to continue to focus on the ability of Africa to grow by itself, focusing on issues of poverty reduction, job creation, as well as economic development and improving people's livelihood. We have now put focus on raising Africa's ability to grow by itself, especially by training young people in Africa and teaching them skills. And third feature is to enhance communication and coordination with relevant ministries at central government, as well as provincial level of governments, and also to strengthen coordination with enterprises, including not only SOEs, but also more and more private enterprises, as well as third-party agencies, including poverty alleviating agencies in the international community, so that we can mobilize resources from various sectors of the society to strengthen our effort to invest and cooperate with Africa in order to elevate our cooperation with Africa to a higher level. Thank you.